muscle and attached to the sits bone coming up from the foreleg. There's another branch. Foreleg. But then from the sits bone to the sacrum, you have a ligament. So if I just think of lengthening the hamstring, I'll be here. But then if I carry it to the sacrum, to the ligament, I can go over, and then I can carry it up to the back, all the way to the head, so that ligaments, all those words, tendons, muscle bellies, is one continuous unit. So one of the things that Amy was sharing, I usually get distracted, but here, if I just use my pelvis to go to the side, I have a whatever you want to call this, knee to the side. Eventually it can become a twist. But if I start in the feet, let's say I'm going to be here. If I start in my feet and I let my feet continue the movement, there's no disconnection. It's one continuous pathway through the whole body. And that's what we're looking at in the, that would go into a full twist, is how we go from one end of the body to the other as a unit instead of a local action. There's a lot of a lot of choice making that's controlling my knee, which means this is just loose. I'm not having to hold at my base here. This is a really important base. We're going to look at tomorrow, our pelvic floor, our pelvic diaphragm, our pelvic base. And so if I'm either holding it or letting it go, I don't have too many choices. I can hold it less and let it go more or less. But here I have, all these 26 bones have more than one articulation. I think in the book I may have written what all the different articulations are. I don't remember the numbers, but it's more than double 26. Probably hundreds. I don't know. I'll make it up a number. But can you see, I'm wanting you to see that my knee, I don't have to do hardly anything, because these are little muscles, and they're far away from my head. This is not so far away. So it's going to hold my consciousness in a different way than if I'm down there playing a piano or something. I can't explain. It's really important for opening for meditation to have a clearer mind rather than having to hold it. It's like, this is like, no sweat. Then, bring your arms over your head and feel how, if you just do what we were doing earlier on the chair, if you move your heels, and you did it with Amy, you can move your heels and just see what happens to your knees when you move your heels. Now, I could hold my pelvis so that I don't let go, or I could go like that and let it fall, or see how the fibula and all is connecting into here. Play with your heels. Then find your talus on top of your heel. Can you see what I'm doing? It's like I'm just playing with centering, not holding, but centering my talus on top of my heel. If your heel is on the inside, your legs will fall out. If your heel is on the outside, your legs will fall in, and that's one of the ways people let go of falling out, is by taking the heels out. And it works. But how can you do it so that you feel where your heel is in the middle, then you play with your talus so it's there, and so you could go to sleep here and wake up and your legs would still be there. Then, play with how you're lowering in such a way that, in particular, this foot here, this fibula, if I don't rotate my fibula, my feet are going to go like that. And my back will arch. But if I do this, it will go through. And then instead of going like this, or like this, go from your feet. And then, instead of rolling here, where will your feet bring you back to here? Ultimately, sorry, I don't know who's there. You can just float in to a twist. But not with all these mats lined up next to each other. Okay? But if you understand it here, this is nothing. You're there. Rather than going like, I don't know, this or something. Making it a position. So I think I said it.